Welcome back to the One Regina Cooks. So since Hi everyone, welcome back to the One Regina Cooks. So since Thanksgiving's just around the corner, I thought I'd take it way back and cook something all the way from season 1, episode 9, titled The One Where Underdog Gets Away. So in this episode, Monica's cooking Thanksgiving dinner for everyone, and she hands Chandler a bag and says,
Chandler, here you go. You got your traditional Thanksgiving feast. You got your tomato soup, your grilled cheese fixins, and your family-sized bag of Funyuns.
And Rachel asks,
Wait, Chandler, this is what you're having for Thanksgiving dinner? What is with you in this holiday?
And then Chandler says,
Alright, I'm 9 years old. We had just finished having this magnificent Thanksgiving dinner. And I remember this part vividly, have a mouthful of pumpkin pie. And that is the moment my parents decided to tell me they're getting a divorce.
And there you have it. That is why Chandler hates Thanksgiving. So for today's video, we're going to be making Chandler's traditional Thanksgiving feast. But we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to show you how to make a delicious grilled cheese sandwich using Havarti cheese. Then I'm going to show you how to make the easiest homemade tomato bisque soup. So let's get started.
So I'm starting out with 2 slices of sourdough bread. You're going to want them cut more on the thicker side. Then, my secret ingredient is a light mayonnaise. You're going to want to spread that onto both slices of the sourdough bread.
One reason I really like to use Havarti cheese for my grilled cheese sandwiches is because it's a creamy cheese. So imagine when this hits the flame. It's going to be so gooey and so delicious.
So once you've cut your cheese and put the mayonnaise onto the sourdough slices, you're going to want to place 1 slice of the sourdough bread with the mayonnaise side face down on a hot griddle. Then place your cheese on top. I have some extra slices here, you don't want to miss the ends. Then go ahead and place the second slice of cheese on top and add the second slice of sourdough bread mayonnaise side faced up. Ooh, listen to that sizzle. After about 2 minutes or until your bread is golden brown, flip over your grilled cheese sandwich. It might get a little messy, but just try to do your best. Once your cheese is perfectly melted, take it off the griddle. And I'd like to introduce you to the perfect grilled cheese sandwich. Now on to our homemade tomato bisque soup. I'm going to be using my food processor because it has both a puree and chop setting, which I'm going to be using for this recipe. So I'm starting out with roughly half a large can of crushed tomatoes. Next, I'm going to do the same with a large can of diced tomatoes. Then I'm adding 1/4 of an onion that I chopped up earlier. Then 1 cup of skim milk. Skim milk is pretty thin, so it's going to contribute to the liquidy texture of your soup. Next, I'm using a teaspoon to scoop out roughly 2½ teaspoons of minced garlic. You can use fresh garlic, but I always have this jarred garlic on hand. Next, I'm adding 2 ounces of softened cream cheese and 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. This is going to thicken up your soup just a little bit. Then add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper, and a few fresh basil leaves. I take the stems off and I use about 4 to 5 leaves. You can use more if you want, depending on how strong of a basil flavor you want your soup to have. Then I'm going to snap on the lid of my food processor and I'm going to start with the chopping option. This is going to help chop the onions that I put in earlier. Then after about 30 seconds, I'm going to remove the lid and add in a tablespoon and a half of melted butter that I melted in the microwave. This is going to add just a little bit more flavor to your soup. Place the lid back on and choose the blending or puree option on your food processor to blend your soup. My food processor comes with a puree option, and I puree my soup for about 2 to 3 minutes. After your soup is blended to a consistency that you want, you're going to pour it into a saucepan over a medium flame. You can also freeze this, so I'm going to save some and freeze it for one of those rainy days. Then give your soup a good stir and wait for it to warm up. Once it's hot and bubbly and the flavors have all blended together, it's ready to serve.
Okay, so here comes the fun part. So I cut my grilled cheese in half, and I placed a basil leaf and a couple little shreds of fresh mozzarella in my soup. So let's go ahead and try this grilled cheese. Ooh, it's nice and hot. So good. Perfect. So, like I said before, Havarti cheese is a creamy cheese. So it makes the sandwich have such a great texture. It's not too soft and gooey where it's runny. It's just such a, I don't know if it makes sense, but like a solid creamy cheese. I just love this. Now let's go ahead and try our tomato bisque soup. I feel like I'm in a restaurant on a rainy day and I ordered a hot tomato bisque soup. This is really comforting and delicious. You can really taste the basil and the garlic. You can even add croutons. What I like to do is sometimes take the crunchy parts off the crust of my grilled cheese and add it into my soup. Like this. There you go, instant croutons. So even though we spruced up Chandler's traditional Thanksgiving feast just a little bit with our Havarti grilled cheese sandwich and our homemade tomato bisque, I decided to leave one thing traditional just the way Chandler would like it. Bag of Funyuns. Happy Thanksgiving, Chandler.
And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.